So everyone once in a while has been seeing something horrible on TV. And maybe you saw a scene from a movie you're not supposed to watch when you were a child, or you've seen something very repulsive on TV. I'm going to share with you guys what my experience was. I am half Balinese, half German, and I have spent 10 years on Bali. I was living there with my mother and my sisters. So Indonesian television can be quite interesting, especially back then when it was between 2000 and 2010. There was this channel called Indosiar, and Indosiar was well known for having these great cinetrons. And cinetron is what you guys would call telenovela in Mexico, or what you will call series. In Indonesia, we love drama, but we love drama that involves family honor, which involves the relationship between parents and their children. The more dramatic it is, the better. Oh, and back then, the cinetrons were actually really good. Like, their stories really were good. They were so good that me, who was 11 years old, who could not understand any Indonesian language, was just mesmerized of what was going on there. And what was so great was this story, and the actors and actresses who play there, they did not really had to say things that you would understand. You would see and understand what was going on just by watching what they were doing or how they were reacting to certain things. And my mother would always tell me these crucial parts, like she would say, okay, that woman is angry because her husband cheated on her with a younger woman, things like that. And that was enough for me to understand the rest, what was going on. Yeah, I'm talking about Jangan Rebut Suamiku, Kesucian Prasasti, Di Antara Dua Pilihan. Those cinetrons taught me the Indonesian language much better than any books I was reading back then. Many years later, I could understand every word they were speaking on TV, and I had no problems with the language at all. The cinetrons, the stories were still alright, but that's when they started to implement CGI. Indonesian CGI is very special, I must say. I've never seen anything like Indonesian CGI. And if there are people out there who saw that special commercial from Indonesia with the eagle and the huge cell phone, if you know what I mean and you saw that video on YouTube, if I can find it, I'll put it in the description. It is so okay, so basically it is so bad that it's so good. I was a teenager. I think I was like 14, probably 15. Of course, as the oldest, I had to help with chores. Every Sunday, mostly I would spend time with doing chores because I had no school. And doing those chores would last till the afternoon. And what happened during afternoon on TV was Indosiar would have these movies, but I'm not talking about Hollywood movies or movies from outside Indonesia. We're talking about these local produced Indonesian movies. Like Indosiar made these movies, and they made one movie each week, and boy, I can say that 90% of those movies were taken from the tale Cinderella. Like, Indonesia was so much into Cinderella, like no joke. You just take Cinderella, make a movie out of it in Indonesia, and you will become a rich person because everybody is going to watch that. It doesn't matter if last week we had Cinderella already. No, Indonesian people could watch Cinderella. And what I did was I was doing the laundry and I fold the clothing, and I was at the terrace, and at the terrace we had a small TV, and I will turn on the TV and I will watch Indosiar because God knows we had only 5 channels back then in Indonesia. For my daily dose of drama, I watched those Sunday movies, and of course those Sunday movies were mostly about Cinderella. So of course, just because Indonesian people love Cinderella, it should always be a little bit different than the last time. Now, you will probably ask yourself, what can be so horrible about Cinderella? I mean, like, damn, it is a children's fairy tale. It is in Indonesia, a country in which kissing, smoking, and being drunk is being censored right now. Yeah, right, I'm not joking. Smoking is censored in Indonesia. Like, if there's a scene from a Hollywood movie out there and it is on TV, they will censor it, like legit. There's a cigarette here between the fingers, and there's the censor bar, and yeah, the censor bar moves with the cigarette. By the way, many people are protesting, at least on social media, because the Indonesian television are not showing those great animes anymore, like Dragon Ball, Shin-chan, and cartoons like SpongeBob, because they are all also censored. Like, you cannot show those anymore in Indonesia, and many people are protesting about it, like, what the hell, show us Dragon Ball. We love Dragon Ball. Don't censor it, don't take it out of TV. So, back to the story. I was folding the clothes and I was innocently watching Cinderella. And let's go back to the variety that I'll be talking. For example, let's say a couple of weeks ago there was a Cinderella movie in which the fairy was a fish, a goldfish. Yes, happened once. It was a magic carp, gold, who could talk, and it was CGI, of course. I still remember how the stepmother found out that that fish was magical and helped Cinderella with her problems, and she took the fish and she cooked it and served it to Cinderella, and Cinderella ate the fish, and when she found out it was her friend, the magic carp, she was crying, and there was this scene in which she was holding the fish bones. I was crying, and she made this very tiny grave hole in the garden, and she was slowly putting it down and crying, and it was very dramatic. Like, I almost got into tears. Oh, also the prince has to be different. The variety we have here is that either the father is his father is a successful politician, or he owns the electrical company, or it changes into him having multiple hotels. That's where we have the variety of the love interest. The variety, of course, we have the carriage. And that's where I'm going to the part, the carriage. The variety here is sometimes it's a flying carpet, sometimes it's a portal, sometimes it's a magic horse. I think there was a magic horse once with wings. It was very CGI, yes. It was some, I think once there was this carriage even, yeah, CGI of course. So what was this horrible thing that I saw? Yeah, so I was folding clothing, innocently watching Cinderella, and finally the time has come for Cinderella to go to the ball. She had a pretty dress, she was eager to go, and the transportation has to come. Yeah, the transportation of Cinderella in that movie. It was a CGI car. CGI car. Like, seriously, could I not go to the nearest rental car place and like get a real car? I mean, like, it was in Jakarta. Jesus Christ, there are cars everywhere. It's a city that lives and thrives on traffic. I'm pretty sure anybody would be glad to lend their car for a couple of bucks. It is just for a 10-second scene, but no, it had to be a CGI car. And I remember when I saw that, I was like, it was a black car, a normal one, I think a Golf. It did not really show what brand it was. All that I saw was, okay, let me explain. So, how was the car shown on TV? It was from the side, so you see the car and that's all you saw. So the most horrible part about it was not that it was a CGI car, it was what the car did. Okay, so every single thing that Cinderella uses to go to the ball has to fly. So I was like, okay, they have a car, is it going to drive now? How are they going to do that? I mean, like, okay, they show Cinderella got into the car and she disappeared behind that CGI car. And then the car flew. It did not drive, it did not slide, it flew, the car flew, and it just did not flew like, I don't know how cars fly. Yeah, well, in The Fifth Element, it was made perfectly, how it was displayed, flying cars, that was great. But not this car. This car was like, shh. And there was these CGI, these background noises, like a deflating balloon. That showed that was the engine, I think. So I saw this scene. I was speechless. It was mind-blowing, but it was so bad. It was so horrible. Like, oh my God, why? Just why would you not do a real car? Like, somebody got paid for this idea. Somebody was sitting there writing the scenario and saying, this time Cinderella my camera died. So yeah, guys, I'm going to record this short conclusion on my phone. That day I lost a couple of brain cells, lost my faith in humanity and creativity, and it took me a long while to recover from that shock. Yeah, so that's it. That was the most horrible thing I saw on TV. And to all fellow Indonesians out there, don't be mad at me. We all love our cinetrons. We have been growing up with great series and with enough CGI. But I'm pretty sure much has been improved since then. It was a good laugh, but I hope I will never see anything that shocking ever again. So that wraps it all up. Thank you guys for listening. I'll see you in the next video.